perfectly into training. And when I talk about training, I'm not talking about that onboarding phase of it where you're training them in the first week or 2 weeks or month. I'm talking about that continued training, that continued education, making sure that your team is improving, growing. Um, so why is this so important to continue to train? It grows your team. Um, Again, back to the statistic of 86% of people want to be a part of something um, bigger than just a job. They want to be a part of this team or this culture. Um, they want to grow within that team or culture, and so they want to know that they have a career path. And I was at an event here just recently, Highway to Hale, and I was talking to somebody about career paths, and they said, "Man, in the contracting space, it's really difficult to have career paths, just the nature of the beast." And I said, "Well, maybe it's something that you haven't even thought of." And they said, "Well, give me an example." And so I used the word champions here, and Jim Johnson loves this word of champions, but maybe you're implementing new technology. Maybe one of those millennials is extremely passionate about technology, and maybe they are a laborer, not even a crew lead yet, but they love technology and they're really good with technology. Make them your technology champion. Give them that growth potential to where they can still be doing their normal day to day, but they also champion something else um, along the way. And so there's a lot of options here, but setting up career paths or creating champions or leads, giving your team potential to grow within your company is super valuable. And obviously, you've got to train them, develop them, coach them up for that. And then measure satisfaction. So it's not necessarily aligned with that continued training, but you need to be measuring your team satisfaction. It's going to tell you if people feel like they are growing, if they're getting adequate career development and training. So extremely valuable there as well. Just a few cliffs here for you that I think are important. Lack of training and development opportunities for new hires. Ask yourself, do we have the ability to train and develop our new hires? Look in the mirror, be very honest with yourself on these questions. Poor communication between management and staff members. Are you part of that 37% that doesn't even do the onboarding of your direct reports? Because if you are, like, I hate to break it to you, your direct report probably is saying that the communication isn't real great if they didn't see you even in the onboarding phase. Unclear job descriptions that do not clearly define all the responsibilities. That comes right from the interview session. Make sure that we're clear there, make sure we're clear in the onboarding, and then make sure that our continued training and education aligns with those job descriptions. Lack of recognition by managers when work is done well. I know the society we're in right now, and we say that it's everybody gets a trophy, and there's a lot of pushback on that. And I'm a big believer in that. Got a 6 and a 9-year-old, and I believe my 9-year-old was 7 when he got a trophy one time, and he said, "Dad, why did we get this?" I said, "Well, everybody in the league gets a trophy." And he goes, "But we didn't get first place." And so just because we have that society of everybody gets a trophy, make sure that doesn't cloud your ability to give recognition, because you do still have to recognize great work. People want to be recognized when they're doing things well. And then an inability to provide feedback on performance issues. And again, this goes both directions. Are you providing feedback on performance issues? Are they able to provide upward feedback? But these are just some cliffs for that continued education, continued training. If you want to just take a picture of this slide, these are great questions to really ask yourself and say, hey, are we doing these things well with our company?